Hey guys, we're going to look at adding and subtracting polynomials, but before we can add or subtract, we're going to start talking about a monomial first, and then we're going to get into what a degree of a monomial looks like. So a monomial is just going to take numbers and variables and multiply them together. So it could look something like this. We could have just two variables, we might have one variable, or we could have more than three variables. Okay, so the degree of our monomial, the degree kind of talks about the size. So our monomials, we're going to take all of our exponents on our variables and we're going to add them up. So for example, if we took our first example, 8a squared b to the fourth c, and I'm asking you to find the degree, we're going to take the exponents on our variables and add them up. So 2 plus 4 gives me 6. Don't forget that c really has a variable, or excuse me, an exponent of 1. So we'd have 2 plus 4 plus 1, which gives us a degree of 7. Similarly, if I have negative 2xyz, adding your exponents on your variables, you would get a degree of 3 since all of our exponents are 1. I'd like you guys to tell me what's the degree of this monomial. Okay, so monomial, mono means one. Poly or polynomial means more than one. So we're going to take, in order to define a polynomial, we're going to have the sum, or it could be the difference of multiple monomials. So here we talked monomial as just numbers and variables. Then I'm going to give you a couple different types of polynomials. We have a binomial. Bi means 2, so there's 2 terms. And then trinomial means 3, so there would be 3 terms to our polynomial. Now, all of these are different types of polynomials. We could have more than just 3 terms, but notice that all of these are the sum, or I could have made them minus signs, of individual monomials. Okay, so that's what polynomials look like. We're also going to look at the degree of a polynomial. So this is a little different than degree of a monomial. We're going to find the degree of every single one of our monomials, and then the degree of the entire polynomial will be the highest degree of your individual monomials. So what that means, here I took our trinomial from above, x squared plus 7x plus 2. If I look at the degree of each of my terms, or each of my monomials, this has degree 2, this has degree 1, this obviously has degree 0 because it doesn't have any variables. So we take our highest degree that we just stated. Well, the degree of the polynomial will be a degree 2 because that was the highest degree of our monomials. Okay, so here's a few more. What's the degree of n cubed plus 2n squared? Well, again, here's degree 3, degree 2. Higher of those 2 degrees was 3, so degree 3. Now we're going to jump into a few more variables. We have 8xy squared minus 9 plus 5x cubed y cubed z. Well, if I want to know what the degree is, I look at each term. This term has degree 3, degree 0, and degree 7. So our degree is that highest degree of 7. Okay, we're going to take one more step and we're going to start stating the leading coefficient. Well, if you remember, coefficient means a number in front of our terms. Leading obviously means in front. So our leading coefficient is going to be officially defined as the coefficient of the term with the highest degree. So I took our example above and I wrote it in what we call standard form. So we write our highest degree first, then our second highest degree, and our last degree. So we rewrite it to look like this. We already stated our degree was 7, but now our leading coefficient is that number in front of that highest term. So our leading coefficient here would be 5. Okay, so again, here's one more example. 9x squared y minus 3x squared y squared minus 5xy. Our goal is to figure out what's the degree in the leading coefficient. Well, again, we need to write it in standard form that I mentioned a minute ago. So we need to put our highest degree first and then down to the lowest degree. So I rewrote it, negative 3x squared y squared plus 9x squared y minus 5xy, because we have degree 4, degree 3, degree 2. So we know our degree is that highest degree of 4, and our leading coefficient is the coefficient in front of that term, which is -3. Okay, and that looks like it's it.